Today I'll talk about representing definite integral as limit of sums. Let us assume that f is a function which is non-negative and it takes all the real values and it is continuous in the closed interval ab. Now we are taking all the real values. So the function will be, the graph of the function will be above the x-axis. Now look at the diagram. The definite integral a to b fx dx is the area bounded by the curve y equals to fx. The ordinates x equals to a, x equals to b and the x-axis. To evaluate this area, consider the region shown in the diagram, that is P, Q, R, S. Now here this curve x-axis and x equals to a, x equals to b, they are determining the region, that is we are describing it by the integration, definite integration a to b fx dx. Now to represent it as limit of sum, what we are doing? We are dividing this whole area into n small parts or n equal parts. Okay, now supposing this starting limit, that is lower limit a as x0 and then upper limit b, that is xn, and in between we are dividing it into equal parts as x1, x2, x3, x4 dot so on till we reach xn. Now this n we are telling limit n tends to infinity. Okay, now this difference, let us call it h. So if I tell the first limit is a, it's starting from a, then I am telling that second ordinate is a plus h, a plus 2h, like that when it reaches nth point, it will be a plus n minus 1h. Now what is h? The total area divided equally. Therefore, it will be b minus a divided by n. So, the value of h we can say upper limit minus lower limit divided by n. That is number of division. Now, let us see how we can represent it as limit of sum. Now, if you add all the areas, then eventually you get the area of the whole region. So here we get the formula a to b fx dx is equal to limit h tends to 0 fa plus h dot plus fa plus n minus 1 into h. So this is your formula for the limit of the sum. Now here you can replace h by b minus a divided by n. The whole thing can be considered as limit n tends to infinity b minus a by n. Within bracket you add all the small region, that is fa plus dot till you reach to the last rectangle, which is fa plus n minus 1 into h. Okay, so that's all for the formula. Now let us see how to apply this formula into a sum. You saw, children, the definite integration, finding it using limit of sum, and earlier you learnt solving definite integration using antiderivative method. What is antiderivative method? If capital Fx is the antiderivative of integration a to b fx dx, then what will happen? The value of the capital Fx at upper limit minus value of capital Fx at the lower limit gives you the value of the integration. In short, integration a to b fx dx is equal to fb minus fa. Now, you see among both the method, this second method, that is antiderivative method, is easier to solve the problem. But still, we have to know both the method and we have to know all the formulas related to definite integral. You will see there are some properties of definite integral. Using them, solving questions becomes very easy. Now, in my next video, I am going to discuss about the properties. Till then, you keep practicing both the method. Thank you.